He could have taken the contract. He could have chased the spotlight and never looked back, but instead, Yhonzae Pierre stopped the clock and chose Alabama. In a season defined by exits and uncertainty, one decision cut through the noise like a siren. This wasn't hesitation. This was conviction, a signal sent to the locker room, the SEC, and the entire sport. Because when everyone expected the Crimson Tide to bend, one move forced everyone else to adjust. So here's the real question. Why would a future NFL pick risk everything to stay? And what does he know that no one else does? Let's be honest. This wasn't supposed to be Alabama's year. After the 2025 season, the Tide defense looked like a battlefield after the dust had settled. Star players gone, leadership stripped, a front seven completely gutted. What was once the deadliest unit in college football stood bare, exposed, and to many, done. Analysts, fans, even some inside the program whispered the unthinkable, that Alabama's defensive dominance had reached its expiration date. But here's the twist. They underestimated the heartbeat of this team. The unshakable, unforgiving hunger that pulses through Bryant-Denny Stadium every fall. And at the center of that pulse, one name began to echo louder than all the noise. Yhonzae Pierre. This wasn't just a returning player. It was the resurrection of a system. The same Pierre who tallied 8 sacks as a non-starter. The same Pierre who emerged as the alpha pass rusher after Rousseau went down. Scouts had him locked for day 2 of the NFL draft. The league was ready. But just when the cameras started pointing away, he pointed back to Tuscaloosa. He didn't choose the pros. He chose unfinished business. Why? Because he knew the gap left behind wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. The front seven wasn't just missing personnel, it was missing purpose. And Pierre, he wasn't just filling a jersey slot, he was bringing back the identity. But here's the thing, why would someone on the verge of NFL greatness willingly step into a broken battlefield? What did Pierre see in this mess? That made him stay. Pierre's decision didn't come from emotion, it came from vision. While the nation debated stats and scouts juggled projections, Pierre was reading something no algorithm could measure, the pulse of a broken system waiting to be rebuilt. Insiders at Atos Sports and CBS were stunned. They'd already penciled him into day 2 of the NFL draft. Some quietly believed he could even break into the first round with a solid combine. The league was watching, but Pierre, he was watching something else. Tuscaloosa. He saw Keon Sabb staying, Bray Hubbard staying. 2 experienced safeties, ready to hold the skies. But Alabama didn't need guardians in the air. They needed fire at the front, someone to bring the heat, someone to strike fear into every offensive line in the SEC, and that someone had to be him. But he didn't just return. He returned with a statement. He chose number 0, not a number, a declaration. 0 isn't absence, it's genesis. It's not starting from the bottom. It's starting from nothing and daring the world to watch you build something unstoppable. That jersey, it didn't come with expectations. It came with weight. A message to every recruit, every coach, every critic. This defense isn't dying. It's being reborn, and I'm the first brick. The symbolic power of that move, tremendous. Because in sports, numbers matter. But this was personal. It was Pierre putting himself on the line, not as a survivor of the 2025 defense, but as the builder of 2026's legacy. And if he's right, if his bet pays off, we won't just talk about stats. We'll talk about the player who redefined what it means to lead. But here's the twist. Was this truly about football? Or is Pierre trying to prove something much bigger to the league, to Alabama, maybe even to himself? What most fans forget, what even insiders sometimes miss, is that leadership isn't given, it's claimed. And it's claimed in moments when no one's watching, when the cameras are off, when the season is months away and all that exists is weight rooms, film sessions, and silence. That's where the 2026 Alabama defense began. Not on game day, but in the invisible hours. And standing at the center of that silence, Yhonzae Pierre. Last season, when Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell were dominating headlines, Pierre was just a name on the depth chart, until Rousseau's injury changed everything. Thrust into the fire, Pierre didn't flinch, he erupted. 8 sacks, game-altering tackles, dominant pressure on third downs. These weren't rookie flashes. These were leader-level results under pressure. But 2026 isn't about repeating what he did. It's about becoming what Alabama needs. The front seven is almost entirely rebuilt. Young players, transfers, new schemes, no clear identity. That would rattle most, not Pierre. Because for him, this isn't about fitting in. It's about building a standard from scratch. His standard. He's not the loudest in the room, but his presence speaks volumes. Teammates describe him as obsessed. Coaches call him a future coach on the field. And in every rep, every stare down in practice, he's sending one message loud and clear: follow me and we win. But here's where it truly gets fascinating. If Pierre succeeds in leading this new-look defense to dominance, he won't just be remembered for staying, he'll be remembered for transforming. And transformations, they echo for generations in college football. So now the question shifts. Is Alabama about to witness the rise of its next all-time great leader? Or is this pressure too heavy for even a warrior like Pierre? Here's the moment everything clicks. A young athlete, projected to walk across that NFL stage, makes a decision that shocks agents, pundits, and teammates alike. In a sport where careers are short, where every snap can be the last, where millions wait just one signature away, Yhonzae Pierre did the unthinkable. He looked the future in the eye and said, "Not yet." This wasn't about fear, it wasn't hesitation, it was conviction. Pierre didn't return to Alabama out of comfort, he returned out of purpose. Because he saw the cracks forming in a legendary program's foundation, and instead of walking away, he chose to be the cement. And here's what most people miss. This move, while emotional, is brilliantly calculated. By staying, Pierre becomes the centerpiece of a defense on the national stage. Every game, every broadcast, every scout's eye locked on him. He's not just another prospect in a crowded draft class. He's the leader of Alabama. And if he dominates, top 15 pick, easily, possibly even higher. But beyond stats and scouts, there's something rarer at play. In an era ruled by transfers, branding, and quick exits, Pierre chose the long path, the harder path, the path of those who build, who don't just want to be remembered as players, but as pillars of something greater. That's why this moment matters, because it's not just about Yhonzae Pierre staying, it's about what comes next. What kind of legacy is he about to forge? What kind of fearsome force will this Alabama defense become under his command? And more importantly, what message does this send to every rising player watching? Now it's your turn to weigh in. Yhonzae Pierre didn't just stay, he declared that leadership still matters, that building something from within still counts, that not every story needs to follow the script of money, fame, and early exit. He rewrote his chapter, and maybe, just maybe, he's rewriting the rules for everyone watching. The question now is, will it work? Will this decision echo through the season as a turning point or a missed opportunity? And more than that, what would you have done? Walked into the draft lights or walked back into the fire? Let your voice be heard. Comment now. Did Pierre just change the game, or is he playing with fire?